Can we be really serious? Classes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome. We're live from the Derby. Just kidding.
No,
The Derby. The Derby's
We're going to be very sophisticated today.
The Derby has been postponed, but in the spirit of all things Derby, we did create these Derby hats. Okay?
Beautiful.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about the Derby. Okay?
Yes. So the word of the day
Is Derby.
is Derby. Very excellent guess, Mr. Hood. I feel like I have to be very serious while talking with this hat on. So proper. So prissy. I'm not a prissy person. So the word Derby is a noun, and it means any of several horse races held annually, that means every year, except this year, usually restricted to 3-year-olds. Not 3-year-old people.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. 3-year-old
Horses.
There we go.
Thoroughbreds.
Thoroughbred. Oh, fancy. See, we're even using fancy words. Yes, 3-year-old horses, okay? Which I thought was kind of cool. Which, you know what makes me the most sad about this Derby? The current 3-year-old horses will never get a chance. Well, no, wait.
No, they will.
In September.
In September.
Okay.
You're giving all the information.
My bad. It is also, it's not only a horse race. My hat is like losing some fluff. It's not only a horse race. It could be a race or contest open to all comers or to a specified category of contestants, like a roller derby or a bicycle derby. So the neighbors participate.
Flying down the neighborhood as we turn this on. We thought we were in a good hiding spot, but that's not true.
The neighbors participated in a roller derby around the top of the neighborhood.
Joke's on me. Okay. Are you going to use it in a sentence?
Oh, I just did.
Oh,
You
sorry.
were so distracted. Mr. Hood was really concerned about his hat. He wanted to be on this side of my house so that no one would see him on that side, but the joke's on him because all the traffic is
All
coming
of this
way.
came out of my yard.
I am very impressed with that. There is rhododendron. I should have asked you what that was. Is this, what kind of tree is that?
This purple one?
This is rhododendron.
I don't know what the other one.
It is a masterpiece.
Some of it is honeysuckle. Some of it is hydrangea. Some of
You have
it,
a pine cone in there?
I have a pine cone right here.
I'm actually very impressed with his hat. I think he should win.
I put a lot of effort into mine.
This is just an old paper thing from a library tea party like 5 years ago. They
Okay.
gave it to us. We did not steal it.
Word of the day.
Okay, I already gave him
The
word of the
word.
day.
Derby,
Okay,
moving on.
national days. It is National Astronomy Day.
Okay.
It is International Doodle Dog Day. So go and doodle a dog. Okay, not doggy doo-doo, but Free Comic Book Day. Herb Day. Truffles Day. Maybe the chocolate and not the mushroom. Learn to ride a bike day. Mr. Hood is finally going to learn how to ride a bike today.
Yeah.
It's Auctioneers Day, National Fitness Day, and Play Outside Day.
You know, it's also take a baby to lunch day. Or eat lunch with a baby day.
As long as it's not eat a baby.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that. All right. And we are not doing anything in history because we're going to talk exclusively about the Derby. And so I learned some interesting things about the Derby. And I think I mentioned this before, when I was in high school, one of the things we would have to do, one of the things we could do as fundraising is we could go work at the Derby, work
It's amazing.
security,
It's just
or
amazing.
take people to their seats or do things like that. So typically the Derby is the first Saturday in May, and it is the end of a 2-week Derby festival. Now, do you know any of the other events that happened in those 2 weeks before?
Isn't there an Oaks race?
Well, that Oaks race would have been yesterday. It's the Friday before.
Now, I do know that there's the Triple Crown.
Yes, but that doesn't happen in the 2 weeks before.
Oh, okay. Other horse races?
No, there's like the hot air balloon race.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There is, or they do hot air balloon something. They do.
Do they have a hot dog eating contest?
I don't think so.
Oh.
They do. Thunder over Louisville is. I believe Thunder over Louisville typically kicks off the festival. So when I was going
the 4th of July.
no, it was supposed to be a couple weeks ago. I think it was supposed to be like April 27th or something, but it
Really? I'm an imposter.
got canceled or it got postponed later, and that has never happened. But anyway, there's lots of events. There's a boat race. I think there's 2 boats, paddle boats that race, and it's a big deal. So when I was going to school, we would always have we would make boats in water, and we would have races, and we would do stuff like that.
It's marvelous.
So, because I grew up right outside of Louisville, Kentucky, and so most of the schools there did stuff. Okay, so because of the race, or because of the virus, it will be on September 5th, 2020.
It has not been postponed.
It is
75 years. 75 years it was, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Isn't it been longer than 75 years?
No, 75 years. 1945.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the competition is a Grade 1 stakes race for 3-year-old thoroughbreds at a distance of 1.25 miles at Churchill Downs. Okay. 19 past winners have started with the letter S.
Wow.
Secretariat was the fastest horse in Derby history, and that was in 1973. I don't know if it was a girl or a boy.
I don't know, but I just about said, I remember watching that one.
No, actually, it would have been a boy
alive
because
then.
all the girls, I looked up their names, and Secretariat was a boy. And it was he ran it under 2 minutes. Another interesting fact is 142,000 hot dogs are eaten at the Derby every year. No
Wow.
female winners, jockeys, have won it yet.
I didn't even know there were female jockeys.
Yes,
That's
there
amazing.
were.
That's
There are no.
okay.
There have been 3 female horses that have won, but there hasn't been a female jockey that has won. The official flower of the race is the rose.
Oh.
Derby is typically called the
Run for the
Roses because they are given a blanket sown with over 400 roses at the end.
That is crazy.
Only 3-year-olds are allowed to race.
I already said that.
The race has never been canceled or postponed because of the weather.
Yeah, that is true. People today were like sad, I heard on the radio, because the weather would have been perfect for the Derby. Although it's kind of hot.
Well, 2 years ago, I believe it was the wettest.
Rain. I
it
remember
was-
watching that. It was crazy because when it rains, the jockeys wear like multiple pairs of goggles and they just flip them up for their head.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
It used to be 1.5 miles, but the new distance came in effect in 1896. The Derby was started, I didn't know this, the Derby was started by Lewis Clark Jr., the
Like
grandson.
the Lewis and Clark Jr.
Jr.
Well, okay.
The
Is your hat itching?
Yes.
What if
The
what if it had like mites in it?
Oh, that's gross. The grandson of William Clark. William Clark, half of the famous explorer duo Lewis and Clark,
Wow.
after he saw England's Epsom Derby.
Wow.
I already talked about this. Only 3 female horses have ever won. It was first televised. First televised Derby was in 1952, or the first televised Derby was in 1952. Okay. In 2019. I meant to tell you to have this be the word because I really don't know what it means. Purse. What does purse mean when it means?
It's how much money is like. Is that what you're talking
Yes.
about? Yeah. So it's like how much money that someone could win from.
Okay, so in
Yeah.
2019, up until 2019, the purse, the total amount of all the winners could win was $2 million, and they
Wow.
raised it to $3 million. The first place winner gets $1.86 million.
Like the first place horse.
The first place horse gets
Wowzers!
1.8, or the owner of the horse gets 1.86 million.
Hopefully.
Second place gets $600,000. Third place gets $300,000. Fourth place gets $150,000, and fifth place gets $90,000.
I'd take fifth place.
I would take fifth place. I mean, I wouldn't take sixth place because I guess you don't get anything.
You're out of luck.
In 2019, we lived this history. For the first time in the Derby's history, the horse that crossed the finish line first didn't win.
That's right. You got disqualified.
Maximum security was disqualified for impeding another horse, and so it ended up Country Horse was given the title.
Wow, that was like very controversial.
Yes. Now, here's what I thought. I want to know, why do people wear these hats? You know
Oh,
why these
yeah.
people wear these hats?
Now it's rooted in tradition, is it not?
It is.
Okay, and I think I've read about this before, but go ahead and tell me.
Okay, so it was a way for wealthy women to set themselves apart from the common folk.
Oh.
I
You just lost a part of your hat.
just lost part of my head.
Well, that makes me kind of
They would wear hats at weddings, balls, and horse races.
Well, you know they wear hats like this over like in England for
Yes.
weddings. And
It's an iconic symbol. It shows high society, and
Everything I'm not.
it also is supposed to bring good luck. especially at horse races. And some men have started to wear hats as well to the races. So
not as cool as yours.
If I go to the race in September, I'm liable to wear something like this.
You totally should. How much does it cost to get to the
Well,
the
so
race?
there's an infield, which I don't know. I've only worked like the outside. The infield's kind of like where the rowdier people go
rowdy.
to.
Rowdy is a great word for that.
Yes, and then you have the outer. You know, you can get a seat, you can get a box. There's a thing called $1 Million Row, where these
Millionaires Row,
and stuff like that.
I know somebody who worked as a chef on there.
Me too.
Want to raise money? Did you really?
No.
Oh.
But so I just thought that was interesting.
I don't know any millionaires.
So today is not the Derby, but here's what here's what we're gonna do. What are we gonna say?
I have some more information.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so
I didn't think you were working today.
well, I have been working for 3 hours cleaning vomit out of my car, but that's okay. It's not mine. It was my dog's. That's a first for this dog parent. It was disgusting. Okay, so I told you before that in 1945 was the last time that the Derby was postponed.
Okay.
And do you know why it was postponed?
The war.
Yes, so it was World War II. And at that point, I'm trying to get back to my notes where, because it's been running since, the first one was held in 1875.
Yes,
Did you tell them that? Okay.
1875.
And there were wartime restrictions.
Oh!
No, save it! Save my head! Save the wind! No, you gotta flip it the other way.
Oh.
And now I think, you know what, maybe we should stop it. Yeah, just stop it.
Has anybody ever told you you're bossy? It's well.
Sorry, I am a little bossy. Okay,
I'm like, it gently needs to be moved up on the left. Move it, Hood!
I should have said, excuse me, sir.
You became that common person after all. You impossible.
Get out of my way! No, okay. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so. The wind overtook my hat. It about blew me away. Okay, so in 1945 it was postponed. You said it was because of the war. And so they had a ban on horse racing. So they really just postponed it like several months. So it was kind of like this year. So I read an article, and what are you doing? Oh, okay. So it was delayed until June the 9th that year. So this will be a longer delay. And the government had placed a ban on horse racing. And now, 75 years later, Louisville
Today, Junior.
I know. Louisville is prepared to have a little something extra in place. And they are bringing back the Turtle Derby. So it says, in 75 years ago, like the city was ready, the public was ready, and in that dark hour, a hero emerged.
The turtle.
The Kentucky Turtle Derby. And so what they do, they announced it on April the 1st that year, but it was not an April Fool's joke. They went ahead and said, hey, we're going to do this, okay? So a group of Courier-Journal and Louisville Times sports reporters were making plans, and somehow they joined forces with some other groups, and they decided to host this Turtle Derby. And they put it at the Jefferson County Armory, and they gave the money that was raised to the Kentucky Society for Crippled Children, okay? So, but here's what is super cool. So they are gonna do that again this year. So they brought it back since it had to be postponed. So there's going to be a Turtle Derby.
When is
it? Hang on, I'm getting there. So here's what's so super cool. At that time, there were 167 turtles that made their way to the finish line. But this year, they are going to have, it was established in Chicago. It was filmed in, no, this is not right. Hang on, sorry. I should have been more prepared. So this year, 8 elite turtles will square off. And here's what I think is the totally cool. It is sponsored by the company, Old Forester, whose mint julep is the official drink of the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
It's going to be at 7 p.m. on their YouTube station. So it's Old Forester's YouTube channel. Make sure you have parental permission to watch that. And what I thought was totally and completely cool is it will still feature traditions, like familiar traditions and voices. So Triple Crown horse racing announcer Larry Columbus will call the race. He's going to be at his house, but he's going to call the race. And the official bugler, so who's this guy named Stephen Buttleman, who's been the race bugler at Churchill Downs for 23 years, will also serenade viewers before the race. So watch the Turtle Derby. I just think that's so cool. I'm going to watch it with my kids tonight at 7.
Is it tonight?
Yeah. 7 p.m. YouTube.
I got distracted. Okay, so,
Well,
but here's what we want you to do.
Got distracted.
We want to challenge you also to make a derby hat and put those pictures in the comments or wherever this video ends up when they post it.
I will post it
And
in a minute.
today.
It takes forever.
And
to
so we want to see those, and maybe we'll send you if we think yours is the best, we'll send you a little special something.
Stuff they
You knocked my cone out. Anyway, this is two
All right.
crazy, crafty teachers,
Sophisticated on Derby Day.
better than commoner people,
Yes.
teachers
Yes.
tuning out.
Do it.
Oh, they call me Shika Shika Baba.
Again.
They call me Shika Shika Baba. The stem is punching me.